You see, Mr. Mogotsi, there is another way of looking at all of this. The person who passed away 3 days before your alleged co-handler was going to meet us was someone whose existence we knew nothing about. Warrant Officer Mabuza was someone whose existence we knew nothing about. We learn about these people. For the first time they get mentioned a long time after they have passed away, when of course they're no longer around to be able to contradict the things that are said about them. And it is very disconcerting to me that you are able to mention Warrant Officer Mabizela, who was arrested several years ago and never played any role at all in your handling, in your witness statement. You don't mention Warrant Officer Mabuza. You mention your co-handler and you give us your name, his name. We go to speak to your co-handler, he says nothing about Brigadier Duma. And then after Brigadier Duma dies, he suddenly becomes the key to this entire operation. It does seem to me that you are pinning on a dead man responsibility for what looks very much like a renegade crime intelligence operation. And it's very convenient to have a dead man to pin it onto. What's your response to that?
No comment.
Do you have any evidence of having met Brigadier Duma at any time? Any extrinsic evidence that will satisfy us that you met Brigadier Duma before he passed away?
I don't know what kind of evidence you want.
Sorry, I could not hear you.
I don't understand the kind of evidence he refers to. For example, you just spoke about Lieutenant General C.B. Young. I cannot give you any evidence that I met him. If people met, and this thing operates differently. We don't take pictures. You can't say, hey, I was with this man, then you take pictures.
If we look at your cell phones, will we find the geolocation showing that you were ever in the same place together?
Yeah, that if it's utilized, yes, definitely, more than once. More than once.
And maybe you could give us some dates to look at.
No, I can't remember the date.
Not even, Brigadier Duma passed away 3 months ago.
But it cannot be dates. If you do your section 205, I can tell you, locate me with the same person.
You give us some approximate times when you say you met with Brigadier Duma and where, and we will do that exercise.
Yeah, I'll try and check when was that. The last time. Oh, you want them now here?
Yeah, no, I would like to have them here.
Even this year, was it no, December.
And where would you meet Brigadier Duma?
Even at the office, at this office.
At his office?
Yeah.
Now, his office is in the same building as your co-handler.
No, yes, he also have an office.
Yes, it is.
He also have
so
an office.
It's not going to help us to look for meetings at his office, because if you go to meet your co-handler who admits to meeting you, you will be seen in the same position.
No.
I want a location outside the office.
No, that's the only place we'll meet.
You only ever met Brigadier Duma at his office?
I met him at his office.
Yes. How many times did you meet at his office? If we go and look at access records at that office building, will we find you coming in and out to see Brigadier Duma?
Yeah, but we can go and check. We'll never find, even when I went to see my co-handler, I don't sign. You'll never find my signatures or name there. And you'll see most of the time where people meet when you get there. There's a way of meeting.
You see, the version that your co-handler put was that he frequently met with you at his place in Bryanston. Is that true?
No, I cannot answer that question.
Well, you can answer it. It's either true or false.
That I met with Duma in Bryanston?
Yes, he said he's got a place in Bryanston and that's where you would meet. Small place, small Nyana
Co-handler,
place.
you said co-handler, now you're saying
No, I am saying co-handler.
co-handler.
Yes, I am saying
And I
co-handler.
met with Brigadier Duma and co-handler.
No, I'm saying the version of your co-handler is that he would meet you frequently at his place in Bryanston. Said it's a small Nyana place.
Yeah, but let me not answer this question with incriminating myself. You know, after he said that, the police now, during their raiding, you know, they went to Bryanston last week. So let me not incriminate myself further.
This is not an issue of incrimination.
No, it's to put myself. I mean, they went, after he spoke to you, after he spoke to the commission about Bryanston, the police went on Sunday, this Sunday.
Mr. Mogotsi, you have admitted that you've met him.
Yes.
How does the location, you are giving an address, you say we met in his office.
Yes.
How does it become self-incrimination to confirm a different address? Because you've
Yeah,
already admitted.
Yes, ma'am, I'm
Let
saying-
me finish now, let me finish,
Okay.
please. You have admitted meeting him, and you have put up a version of where you met him. What is being put to you is his version of, and only the location where you met in Bryanston. How can that be a question of self-incrimination?
Yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying, because I admitted to have met him. Yes, no, we met in Bryanston, but I was just putting it on record that after my co-handler spoke about Bryanston, the police went to raid Bryanston on Sunday. Yes, we met in Bryanston.
So you would meet your co-handler in Bryanston.
I also met him there.
You also met Brigadier Duma there,
But that was not recent, it was long time.
long time ago.
Yes.
But how long ago? Are we talking 2024,
No,
2023?
2020, even after, I think around even 2025, I think it happened.
It was in 2025.
I think so in Bryanston, not sure.
So we will find you and Brigadier Duma in the same place in Bryanston at some stage in 2024, 2025.
And then, Chair, something just that you have a clue. You see, the co-handler told you that he's very close to this General, General Khan. Locate them if you'll ever find them together. Or if you locate me with my handler, with our phones. No one, the first rule, don't bring your phone. But go and try. That's the first rule. Thank you, Chair.
So you're now telling me that I shouldn't look at geolocation because you always switch off your phones.
No. I say you can go and check. But at the office, probably get even in Bryanston to check. But to rely on cell phones in these things is not as easy as you think.
Well, we know that you did meet your co-handler in Bryanston quite frequently. So we'll first check to see if we can find you and your co-handler's cell phones together in Bryanston. And if we do, then we'll go and look and see if we can find you and Brigadier Duma in Bryanston also.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Can I just quickly clarify everything that you told General Mkhwanazi in your WhatsApps was false, was it not? Literally every single statement that you made to General Mkhwanazi in those WhatsApps in September, October last year was false.
That's not false.
It wasn't false.
There was an OB entry. There was a correctional officer who was arrested with drugs. That thing was registered as an OB.
Well, let's take them one by one then. Did you meet the complainant in the Mpangeni prison case?
No.
No. So that was a lie.
Yeah, that is true. It's not true.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's true.
It was a lie.
It never happened, yes.
Yes. Did General Kumalo speak with the complainant?
No, I don't know. It was
That was
I
another
made.
lie.
That is a false lie. That's something that I made. They never spoke. Kumalo never spoke about him in the meeting. I was not there, though.
We're going to take them one by one. Okay. So you've told two lies there. You've said you met with the complainant in the Mpangeni case and that General Kumalo was also speaking to the same complainant. Did you clear with your handler and co-handler that you were going to tell these lies to General Mkhwanazi?
My handler knew when I started talking to General Mkhwanazi. My handler knew.
And I knew you were talking to General Mkhwanazi. Did he know that you were going to lie to him and say General Kumalo is meeting with the complainant who is
Obviously-
setting up this defeating the ends case against you.
No, obviously, where the information of this nature comes, wherever from the name where I showed you, my Buzma visa will always be involved.
So Mabizela stroke Mabuza knew that you were going to say that you were meeting with a complainant and that General Kumalo was also meeting with a complainant and that General Kumalo was trying to set up General Mkhwanazi, trying to frame General Mkhwanazi on a defeating the ends case.
No, Chair. And maybe I should give it in for example. If one is a prosecutor and instructions say the state opposes this bail, you don't tell him or go there, stand up and say, you just tell him go and oppose. When you get there, you oppose the bail. That doesn't necessarily mean you give him statement by statement, this is what we're going to say, this is what we're going to say.
I see. So now I understand that you got a broad brief from your handlers. Go and engage General Mkhwanazi. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, let me not incriminate myself on that.
Did your handlers know that you were going to say that General Kumalo had pushed a negative narrative about cash in transits in KZN and had suggested that General Mkhwanazi had his own cartel?
No, I'm not going to incriminate myself.
You see, did your handlers know that you were going to say that General Khan would brief General Mkhwanazi next week?
Yeah, I'm not going to incriminate myself and my handlers.
Did you clear with your handlers whether you could drop the name of General Khan?
You don't need to clear. When you work on such things, you do what you have to do and you report. But perhaps I should not incriminate myself. Please.
You see, in your statement, you say this was all about an attempt to gain General Mkhwanazi's confidence and trust in order to execute my mandate in terms of the task order of your handler. What was that mandate?
No. As it's written on the statement, that's how it stands going forward. Let me not incriminate myself.
So am I to understand then that this was your fishing expedition to establish whether General Mkhwanazi was working for the CIA?
Let me not incriminate myself further, please.
No, I don't understand why that would incriminate yourself. You've said the only mandate that you mention in your statement is the allegation that General Mkhwanazi may be working for the CIA.
Yeah, but now, as I said, remember, I fully confirmed that the content of my statement as is shall not change. But going forward, let me not incriminate myself. Perhaps
so there was no other mandate that you had in relation to General Mkhwanazi beyond the mandate in your statement?
Yeah. That's why I'm saying I don't want to incriminate myself.
So you're now saying there may be another mandate beyond the one in your statement?
Of incriminating myself, yeah, it's coming. I don't want to incriminate myself.
You've now publicly apologized to General Mkhwanazi for suggesting that he may have been linked to the CIA.
I did apologize. I can apologize again.
Yes.
And retracted that since I do not have tangible evidence, I should retract that, and that's what I've done.
But in pursuit of that link, you were happy to tell a series of lies that were calculated to interfere with the relationship between General Mkhwanazi and General Kumalo, were you not?
No, let me not incriminate myself.
Well, the whole purpose of the whole tenor of your WhatsApps was to make General Mkhwanazi suspicious of General Kumalo.
Yeah, but as long as I don't incriminate myself.
I see. And you were going to sow suspicion between General Mkhwanazi and General Kumalo, who was the head of the PKTT in KZN and the Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence nationally.
Repeat the question, Chair.
You were sowing suspicion between the Provincial Commission of KZN and General Kumalo, who was the head of the PKTT in KZN and also the head of Crime Intelligence nationally.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to incriminate myself.
I see. Did your handlers approve of this, sowing suspicion between General Kumalo and General Mkhwanazi?
Yeah, maybe. Hey, please let me not incriminate myself.
Did you receive specific approval from any handler, co-handler, or Brigadier Duma to do this?
Or like I said, if it comes from him, he knew. So somehow he knew what it was.
Who knew?
The same person I wrote on the book.
Oh, I see. The dead person.
Yeah, but I've agreed, I've accepted that they have passed on.
And so he knew that you were going to tell lies about General Kumalo to General Mkhwanazi and make General Mkhwanazi believe that General Kumalo was trying to frame him.
No, I'm not me. I mean, I'm not incriminate myself, please.
Did General Sabia know?
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
General Khan?
I'm not going to incriminate myself.
You see, if we go through everything that we know that you actually did in relation to your so-called investigation, what we see is time and again, you are trying to set up General Kumalo. Do you remember the episode when you wrote to the minister about the breakthrough and whether the arrest was effected? And you immediately, well, not immediately, you then WhatsApped your screenshot to Mr. Matlala and asked him about iPad.
Yeah, those that are in the statement, they still stand.
Yes, well, so I'm going to list a series of episodes. The first is your attempts to get members of the PKTT, or who you thought were members of the PKTT, arrested for the raid at Mr. Matlala.
I thought so. I can't hear the question.
The first, I'm listing a series of operations that you performed that seemed to be targeted at General Kumalo. The first is trying to get members of the PKTT, or who you thought were members of the PKTT, arrested for the raid at Mr. Matlala's house.
I didn't open the case for them. I didn't do it.
No, you referred it immediately to your co-handler, your alleged co-handler who tried to open a case for them in Soweto. That's one.
Yeah, but unless you say the PKTT or whoever can go to anyone's house, and remember he even said they assaulted his wife. To help someone open a case is not to target any person. He became that.
Who else have you opened a case for while working in crime intelligence?
Yeah, let me not incriminate myself.
I see. Can you give me one example of another case that you've tried to open while working in crime intelligence? For an alleged target?
I can't remember.
Well, try and remember. Is there one? Is there any target in your lengthy experience in crime intelligence who you've helped to open a case, other than Mr. Madonna?
No, they didn't want to open cases. They were not attacked. Operations were not about opening cases. It was just a coincidence that a person's wife was assaulted and you know someone who can help him. And that's it.
Yes, but it wasn't a coincidence. Your first meeting with the man was the day after he was raided.
It's a coincidence in the nature that his wife and himself were assaulted. I didn't say, for those that assaulted, come to me and I refer you to open cases. Then that time, a person could not open a case. If, like this member of parliament, when he came to Soweto, I was not part of that. I did not know how that happened. But if I also referred him to someone, would that means my job is to help people open cases? People know
we do know what happened with that member of parliament. He also went to your co-handler. Your co-handler managed to get a case open for him.
Yeah, and now no one is concerned that why these people are traveling so long distances to open cases, because where they come from, cases cannot be opened. When you gave example earlier, Chair, about the arrest of those generals, on the 6th of July, when General Mkhwanazi spoke, if you could remember how he attacked the presiding officer who imposed those bail conditions, that magistrate also even recused himself from that case. It's because they were not worried as to How did this man why did he have to travel all the way to open a case?
Yeah. Ms. Mogotsi, we will ask questions of General Mkhwanazi when he comes back, but at the moment I'm asking questions of you. And my question was, have you ever opened a
No.
case? And the answer was no.
No.
So you did that, you assisted the opening of the case on the 7th of December, the day after the raid. You then started communicating with the minister about getting an IPID arrest. You recall that?
If it's in the statement, it's done like that. And
Well, we traversed it last time. I'm not going to do it again. That was the second occasion.